Good morning, everybody. Happy first day of February. Today I am, always interesting. Not just today, but all through the month of February, our topic is relationships in honor of Valentine's Day. But could we just stop making Valentine's Day about romantic, you have to be in a relationship type of thing? Can't we just overtake Valentine's Day and make it about self-love? I am feeling that in my solar plexus today. Let's make it about self-love, because I know it triggers a lot of people if you're not partnered to think that you have to be partnered on Valentine's Day, and it's really just a fucking crock of shit, right? It's honestly a Hallmark holiday. That's kind of how I think of it. And so what if we dedicate Valentine's Day and the month of February to self-love? And I know I don't know if all of you know this, but just a reminder, next Monday I will not be doing a live because I will be doing some serious soul care and self-love because it is my the anniversary of my son's passing. So I am taking a day off, which I do every year. So reminder for that. And I am upping my soul care and I am upping my self-love. So I highly recommend doing that if you're going through a hard time. So I see my cat in the background. That's my Jack cat, by the way. That's Elmo. He's like a ball of love. Anyway, now on to our regularly scheduled programming. Today I want to talk about the love languages by what's his name? Gary Chapman. I got my notes here. So and so I reread this last year, and he's got some really good stuff to say. And the book is great. He has a Christian perspective. If that is your jam, awesome. If it's not, take it with a grain of salt. It's not my perspective, but he really has a lot of really good things to say. And one of the things that really, before I get into the 5 love languages, one of the things that really, really resonated with me was he talks about the first 2 years of a relationship. I call it the love bubble. I don't actually remember what he calls it. I don't even know if he actually has a name for it. But the love bubble in the first 2 years of a relationship is when everything is wine and roses and everything is wonderful and you're totally in love and you're in this love bubble and nobody could ever ruin it. And it's the most magical, awesome, amazing, romantic, whatever, right? And so what he's saying is that, and he says it's 2 years. I think it might be closer to 6 months. So it's kind of in the span of 6 months to 2 years where everybody's on their best behavior and everything is wonderful, right? And then the love bubble pops and you kind of get into the real nitty gritty of the relationship. But what he talks about is when you're in that love bubble, oxytocin is flooding through your system for these 2 years, okay? So before you meet your person, you're you, right? You're just this is who I am. This is Nadia. This is whoever. And then you meet your person and all of a sudden, all of the oxytocin, which is the love chemical, which is when you hold a puppy or a baby or whatever, or just snuggle, that's that feeling. And so that is coursing through your body for up to 2 years. And the reason that is happening for both of you is so that you could continue on the human race. It's purely hormonal. It's purely biological, whether you plan on having kids, whether you are in a hetero or non-hetero relationship, it is a biological function to keep the human race going. My dog just burped. Okay. Not sure if you heard that or not. And so what happens is after the 2 years, that love bubble pops, right? And then you are back to the person that you were before you met your person, okay? And so, and that is your baseline, right? Like your baseline you without the oxytocin running through your system. Your person goes and does the same thing. They go back to their baseline. And this is when the love languages start to really come into play. Okay. And so now that you're back to your baseline, you're like, okay, this is how I receive love. And this is based on, your own family of origin. Like, how did you receive love growing up? How did you give love growing up? How did your family do it? And so we are going to have different love tanks, essentially, right? And so what he's saying is that we have to understand our own love language and then look to our, and view and learn our other person's love language like like you're learning a different language, right? Which I thought was so cool when he put it that way. And so you don't have to be in an intimate relationship to understand or appreciate this. This is for all relationships, right? And so I would even go so far to say, if you, you're going to have a dominant love language, but if you take all of these and apply it, oh my God, it's it could be life-changing, right? Okay, so this is, again, like I said, if you're not in a relationship, think about friends, think about family, think about coworkers. So here they are. And as I go through them, just kind of I would love to hear from you, drop it in the chats. What's your love language? You're going to have one or two major ones. And let me know, because I would love to hear. Mine are words of affirmation and physical touch. And I gotta say, I'm kind of digging quality time. So this is another question. I'm do your ones stay the same? I'm also appreciating acts of service, like being married and having kids and doing things, right? So anyway, words of affirmation, all right? It's more than just compliments. These are the I love yous, have a great day, can't wait to see you later, the little verbal sweet nothings, okay? That are hugely something to people who are the words of affirmation people. And so how you want to communicate if you're with somebody who is an affirmation person is encourage, affirm, appreciate, empathize, and listen actively. Okay? This is basically what I do with my clients, right? It just comes innately because I'm a words of affirmation person, okay? And actions to take. We love unexpected notes or texts or whatever, and also just to be genuinely encouraged, and we love to be encouraged often, okay? What not to do, non-constructive criticism, and being an empath and a 2 on the Enneagram and a words of affirmation, even constructive criticism is hard. And also not recognizing or appreciating the effort that we are putting in, okay? So we like to be appreciated. The second one is quality time. This is obviously all about quality time, right? It's so it's date nights or, playing cards or, it's about the undivided attention without having, I was about to reach for my phone and then realize that I'm talking to it. It's about not having the phone in front of your face and actually having quality time. We were having internet issues, we still are, but the other night it was our anniversary and we played backgammon, and it was so nice to not just turn on the TV or get on our phones, and it was a really nice quality time. So it's all about focused conversations that are uninterrupted. One-on-one time is critical, okay? And so that's how you want to communicate. Like, go on the walks, like anything that is uninterrupted and is one-on-one. The actions to take, like special moments together. And like I said, like take walks. And again, doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. You're like, get away for the weekend or whatever. Well, I mean, you can't really get away for the weekend now unless you're really careful on all the things, right? Physical touch is the third one. So this is all things touch. It's not just sex. It's holding hands. It's hugging. And I forgot what it is. I think that might be oxytocin, that if you need like 8 hugs a day and your oxytocin will like increase, and your serotonin levels will. So and again, you could hug pets, you could hug your family members, because we can't hug, but like if you have a dog, hug your dog, because you're going to get that oxytocin from them also. So how you communicate is all nonverbal. So you're using body language and touch to emphasize your love. This is again, hugging, kissing, holding hands, and making physical intimacy a priority. What not to do is be physically neglectful, or long stints without intimacy, or being cold towards the other person. That is really wounding. Okay. The fourth love language is gifting. And this is not about superficiality. Okay. This is about finding like the most heartfelt, gift from someone. Like I actually got like, and she's a friend and she's in here, and she actually is like, I am not a good gift giver, but I saw this and I had to get it for you. And she didn't know my birthday and she got it right around my birthday. And it's this. It's my name in a really yummy candle. And it was the most thoughtful, loving gift. And as Nadia, we don't have her name on anything. So it was like extra special. So even though she doesn't think she's a great gift giver, she is. But it is about seeing that perfect thing and knowing like, or again, like I have like, because the next week is a very hard week, I have people have like little gifts that show up on my door because, people are feeling my grief at this point of the day. And sometimes it's like a bag of Funyuns or like, a card or some flowers, and it's really beautiful and thoughtful, and I receive it because I know that this is how these acts of service, these gifting, if that's your love language, that's how you're communicating. So and so it is about, the communication is about thoughtfulness and making your partner or that person a priority. And the actions to take are thoughtful gifts and gestures. And then just all those little small things that matter in a big way. And it's also about being grateful when you receive a gift. What not to do is like, don't forget the special occasions. And I thought this was pretty funny. Unenthusiastic gift giving. I don't know why that just cracks me up, because we've all been there where you're just like, wow, really? Thanks. And then the last one is acts of service. And that is showing up and showing your love by doing practical things for your partner. This is my husband's love language. Like, and Gary Chapman, doesn't ascribe gender differences to the love languages, and I'm going to defer to him because he's like the master on it. But I believe, because of social conditioning, that a lot of men, and I did like informal survey with like, all my people and friends and clients, and a lot of them who are in relationships with men all say that their love language is acts of service. Of course, not all men, but there is a majority. So I just would love to hear that. Like, if you're in a relationship with a man, is acts of service their strongest love language? Or what is, if it's not? So this is like, again, practical things like going to the grocery store. My husband did this yesterday. I was so beyond grateful that I didn't have to go to the grocery store. Or vacuuming, or filling the car with gas, or paying the mortgage. And so, it's about like doing these things for the other person that it like rocks their world. And so the way that these acts of service people communicate, or how we should communicate, is saying phrases like, let me help you with that. You know, they want to know that you are with them, and do chores together, or make breakfast in bed, or go out of your way to alleviate their daily workload. And this is what I'm saying, like, is it a fixed thing? Like, or do the love languages kind of shift depending on like where you are in life? Like, I am like loving acts of service right now. That was like, oh, sweet. Like, awesome. Go to the grocery store. Amazing. Thank you. What not to do, which is a good one, making the requests of others like a higher priority. Like, they want to know that like you're their priority when it comes to acts of service. And also lacking follow through on tasks. And that is true because I am married to an acts of service. So I could tell you firsthand that is true. And so if your love language doesn't match up with your person's, that's totally okay. This is about learning how to be bilingual in the love language, and so like, you'll be able to like tune in and be like, okay, or ask like, or you'll be able to tune in and be like, okay, this is totally what their love language is. And the growth in that for you is to go, okay, well, this is mine, and I'm going to learn how to communicate to that person so that they could receive the love that they want, and that they could fill their own, they're going to fill their own tank, but it feels really good when somebody really loves you in the way that you've been conditioned to love, really. And again, taking it a step further is like, what if we all started acting, in the way of the 5 love languages? Like, not just yours, not just theirs, but like, what if we just spent a little bit of quality time with somebody and got the perfect gift for somebody else, or really, gave that person, affirmations, and, listened intently. And I know we can't really do the physical touch thing, but like within your family or your animals or whatever, you could do that too. So, maybe it's about incorporating all of them, not just the 2 that are the most predominant in your relationship and your relationship with others. So that is what I have to say today. I would love to hear what love language is your strongest. And reminder, I am not going to be here on Monday. If I feel up to it, maybe I'll do something later in the day, or maybe on Tuesday. Like, if not, you will see me again on the 15th. Again, like going back to filling your tank, like you have to fill your own tank, right? You can't depend on your partner to fill your tank, right? Because like you might not get it, and then it's about learning how to fill your own. And if you want to learn how to fill your own Soul Care 6-pack, which I only do once a year, is starting on March 4th. And I've expanded it. So like the last few times that I did it, I was just teaching, I was giving you all the content, the digital courses, all content. This time around, I am like mixing it up. So it's 12 weeks. I expanded it. So the first, it's going to be content. So like you're going to learn about soul care. And then the next week is going to be a meditation and hypno healing on soul care. Then the next week is all about universal fears. We all have them, and it's learning how to move through them and how to utilize them and learn from them when they come up. So that, and then the following week is a hypno healing and a meditation on universal fears. And then the third week, or I'm sorry, that wouldn't be the third week. That would be like the 5th week. But the third module is all about codependency and healthy and unhealthy relationships, which I'm going to be talking about in the next live. And that is super awesome. It's all about learning how to have healthier relationships with yourself and with your loved ones. And so I do a teaching on that. And then the following week is a meditation and a hypno healing on that. And then the next one is boundaries, and then a meditation, hypno healing, and then learning how to love yourself, meditation, hypno healing. And then the last week, or the last module, is an intro to the chakra system, which is all mind body work. And then we do a hypno healing and meditation on that. So it's tons of experiential stuff, which I am doing in Chakra Chicks right now. And the women in there are loving it. I'm loving it. It's a great community. And so I reframed Soul Care Six Pack to follow that model. And it's 12 weeks, and it goes into, it's a great framework to really transform the shit out of your life and put yourself first and care and tend for yourself. So I hope to see you guys in there. I'm going to post a link up in the announcements so you guys have access to it. And and DM me if you have any questions about it. I can hop on a call with you too. Have a great Monday, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Love you. Bye.